If we come together, if we demonstrate our desire to have one America to them, there's no way for them to keep doing business the same way and doing business as usual. We've come to say we want to build one America. Build one America. Build one America. Build one.
Too many of our small towns and older suburbs are hurting. Our infrastructure is crumbling, our job base is leaving, and our schools are struggling. But the wealthiest, fastest growing towns have been allowed to zone out the poor while gaining a disproportionate share of federal and state aid, while our towns, the older towns, gain a disproportionate share of decay and poverty.
We've got to figure out a way to come together. A lot of the jobs that traditionally were inside of cities are now moving to the suburbs. Well, so what do we do about that? We have to be able to have affordable housing closer to those jobs. We have to have transportation that can get people to and from work in an affordable way so that they're not spending their entire income on transportation. We have to create livable communities where there are parks and there's schools and there's recreation and there's shopping and there are grocery stores and there are all of the amenities that anybody who could choose where they live would want in their own community. And that's what our country should be. It's a very simple vision. It sounds very simple, and it is within our reach if we just know that we have partners at the federal and state and local level who believe. But more important than that, you have to have strong community leadership. And that's why I'm so glad you guys are here today. Because you've got to come together. You've got to learn from one another. You've got to get strength from one another, and you can feel it in this room. Can you feel it in this room? Can you feel it in this room?
You know, I think I'm also speaking the obvious here when I'm saying these kinds of landmark cases are only just catalysts for change. They can never go all the way. They can never replace political will. And that's where this movement comes in that we're seeing here. It's taking the next step to really push forward the regional opportunity agenda.
But what I will tell you, what I learned in New Jersey, in this New Jersey experience, is that what building coalition meant in New Jersey was that not only did we have to have a diverse group of people that reflected different ethnicities and races, not only did it require building a coalition of different faith communities and organizations and laborers and environmental groups and developers, okay? But it also meant that we had to be strategic about who our targets were. We bring the stories to the legislators, okay? And so when we go to a legislator with a diverse group of people and target them and push and hold them accountable, we can see things happen.
So we need to make a connection. I think what we've heard today, that we as a coalition need to make a connection right on across our nation, because there's a commonality amongst all of us. And coming together as we've done in New Jersey, and I was so impressed by Marlene and what she said about the elimination of the RCAs, because I was a part of that. And I felt the excitement the day that Governor Khorasan signed that bill, because we had sat in his office, we had met with different senators and congressmen trying to get their attention. We even had a meeting in Atlantic City on a cold, rainy, stormy night where we were able to gather about 1,100 people in the storm and rain to meet with legislators about our displeasure about RCAs. We made it, and it gave me some new energy to let me know that we can do it not only in New Jersey, but we can do it all across this nation.
Boy, I'm glad I'm here with you guys today. I have to tell you, we have to get out more. It is so nice to be out and back with the people who are actually going to change our society. And you who know our president know that he doesn't believe that one man can do it alone. It is a collective effort. It is a partnership. It's an engagement that begins with the individual. And as he said in the course of the campaign, and as he has said since he became president, if one person decides to make a difference, and they talk to their neighbor, and then they talk to their block, and then they talk to their community, lo and behold, you can actually change the country and change the world.
It is a great, wonderful convening that you have here today on a topic of truly critical importance. I know words like that are thrown around a lot, but to merge justice, equity, and posterity, I think is absolutely the right thing. Combating poverty and controlling urban sprawl. We shouldn't still be working on this, but in fact, it's only getting worse. It should have been put an end to years ago. The vestiges of segregation should have been erased from our society, but they still haunt our schools and our residential neighborhoods, and and our treatment of the human environment.
When it happens at the expense of the cities, it's a threat to the nation, because it was John F. Kennedy who said we will neglect our cities at our peril, because when we neglect our cities, we ultimately neglect the nation.
I dare you to look at somebody else and tell them we will make it. If we got to stay up a little bit longer, we'll make it. If we got to struggle just a little bit harder, we will make it. If we got to burn the midnight oil, we will make it. I dare you to tell somebody we will make it.
We came here to begin to heal the fractures and mend the divisions that plague our nation. We came here to say no. No to segregation, no to sprawl, and no to inequality. We're here.
It is, looking at your faces, I would say, a time, however, for great hope. And it's an honor to speak to such a group, committed, accomplished, and well led.
If we are going to advance this agenda, we need to do it by building a broad-based political movement of urban leaders, local officials, and civic leaders from our older suburbs that have much to gain and nothing to lose from having all towns do their fair share.
We believe that our parochial and regional efforts can more potently support new national policies as they are shaped by grassroots organizations carefully guided through the propositions of our Congress.
And instead of being able to go to your governor, to your state, and even to the federal, even to Obama and say, we need help. We need help because we deserve it. We're valuable, we participate, we contribute a lot. And instead of being able to do that, we find that we're cleaning up the scraps. And I just think it's time that we have to vote, we have to decide what we want, and we have to find those people that are going to give us what we want, and then we have to vote them in. And that's what we have to do to change.
We are not going to be able to move forward and tell an entire metropolitan area that we are no longer going to limit the opportunities people are entitled to a neighborhood or to a city. They're going to be metropolitan-wide. We need you there. We are no longer going to allow a community to exempt itself from its responsibility. This is America in the 21st century. People are entitled to move in any metropolitan area.
We're looking forward to having meetings just like this in every region, in every state of our country. In order for us to build one America, we have to get with our legislators. We have to show them that we want one America. We have to take pictures when we gather so they can see that it's not a black group. It's not a white group. It's not a Hispanic group. It's an American group.